All right, welcome to this deep dive. We're going to help get you ready for a mudlogger interview.
Oh, yeah.
It's a super cool job where you basically analyze what comes up from drilling,
Yeah.
and you help figure out what's going on way down there.
Thousands of feet.
Yeah, thousands of feet below the surface.
It's like detective work, but for the Earth.
Yeah, it's like detective work for rocks.
Exactly.
And mudloggers are really important in oil and gas
Super important.
because their analysis guides those big drilling decisions.
So that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah. And to help us out, we've got a bunch of resources from RoleCatcher,
They've got everything: career guides,
career guides, interview guides.
interview guides, and even some AI-powered tools to give you an edge.
Yeah, so let's get to those interview questions, right? RoleCatcher says that there are 10 key questions that they like to ask.
10 key questions.
So we're going to go through each one of those, and I'll let you know why they're asking,
Oh, that's great.
and then how to approach them effectively.
I'll give you some tips.
Some tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready to dive in?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Okay, the first one. Can you explain the process of mudlogging? They hit you with this right away.
Every single time.
Why do you think that is?
They want to see if you understand the basics
Okay.
and the fundamentals of the job.
So how do we explain it?
All right. Well, you want to make sure you explain it simply and clearly, like you're telling a story.
Okay.
So think of it like this. You start with the collection of mud at the drilling site.
Okay, so you're right there on site.
You're on site and you're collecting the mud. Then it's transported to the lab for analysis.
Okay.
And finally, you explain what you look for in those samples. So hydrocarbons, gas levels, and the types of rock formations.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
So you're taking them through the whole story.
the whole process.
What's a potential follow-up question? Like they might say,
Oh, for sure. They're going to dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
Like, what are some specific techniques you use to analyze mud samples? And, this is your chance to show off all that technical knowledge that you've got.
all right, so this is where you bust out the,
Yeah, the gas chromatography, the microscopes,
Yeah.
the different methods.
okay. What are some things that we should avoid?
Definitely avoid rambling or getting lost in the jargon, right?
Right.
They want you to speak clearly
Yeah, keep it simple.
and explain complex things simply. And obviously, don't wing it.
Right.
Prepare that answer.
Okay, so be ready.
Yeah.
All right, question number 2. What kind of equipment have you used in mudlogging? So I feel like this is where they're trying to see what you've actually done, right?
That's right. They want to know about your hands-on experience with the tools of the trade.
So how do we answer this without sounding like,
Like a braggart.
yeah, like a know-it-all?
Just be specific, list the equipment, and if you have an area of expertise, highlight that, I'm proficient in using a gas chromatograph, and I've got experience with microscopes. Something like that.
That's great. What's a potential follow-up that they might ask here?
Oh, they're going to want to see if you can solve problems.
Oh.
So something like, tell me about a time you had a problem with equipment and how you fixed it.
Okay, so be ready for that one.
Yeah.
And what should people avoid saying?
Don't overstate your experience, right? Be honest.
Your
And
trap.
if you've never used a specific piece of equipment, just be upfront about it and say you're willing to learn.
Right. Honesty is the best policy.
It is.
All right, question number 3. How do you ensure accuracy in mudlogging data? So I'm thinking attention to detail here.
Big time. They want to see your commitment to quality control. Accuracy is so important.
How do we convince them that we care about being accurate?
You got to emphasize your approach, right? So you explain that you follow specific procedures,
Okay.
right? Sample collection, handling, analysis.
To minimize errors.
To minimize errors. You can even say something like, I adhere to protocols
Okay.
to prevent contamination and ensure data integrity.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
A little bit.
A little jargon in there.
A little bit of jargon never hurts.
All right, what's a follow-up question that we might get?
They might ask, describe a time you found an error. What did you do?
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
So what are some common mistakes to avoid?
Don't be vague. Provide a concrete example of how you ensure accuracy.
Okay.
And never downplay the importance of accuracy because it is the foundation of the whole process.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Question number 4. How do you communicate mudlogging data to drilling engineers and geologists?
I feel like there's more to this question than just the data itself.
Absolutely. They want to see if you can effectively convey information to a team.
Okay.
It's all about your communication and collaboration skills.
So how do we nail this answer?
All right. Well, you want to focus on clarity and being concise.
Okay.
You can explain that you use reports, presentations, or even real-time updates to keep the team informed. You could say, I tailor my communication to the audience, whether it's using clear language or visuals, to ensure everyone understands. That's a great answer. What's a good follow-up, they might ask?
They might ask, have you ever had to explain complex data to someone who's not a technical expert? How did you make sure they understood?
Okay, yeah. So being able to talk to somebody who doesn't understand the lingo.
Right.
What are some communication pitfalls to avoid?
Definitely avoid overly technical language when your audience doesn't get it.
Right.
And never underestimate the power of listening.
Oh, that's a good one. Active listening.
It's essential for communication.
Okay, question number 5. How do you handle unexpected situations while mud logging?
Oh, the curveballs are coming.
Yeah, there's always something, right?
There's always something.
So I guess they want to know if we can problem solve.
That's exactly right. How do you adapt under pressure? Things happen on drilling sites, so how do you handle that?
Okay, so how do we convince them we can deal with the chaos?
So think of a specific time when you faced an unexpected challenge, right?
Okay.
Like equipment failure or a sudden change in drilling conditions, and then walk them through how you assessed the situation, how you troubleshooted the problem, and how you ultimately found a solution.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So have a story ready to go.
Yeah.
What's a good follow-up question that they might ask?
They might dig into your problem solving a little bit and say, tell me about a time when your first attempt to fix something didn't work and what did you do next?
Oh, yeah.
So they want to see that you're resilient and you can think critically.
All right. So what should we avoid?
Don't get flustered.
Right.
Stay calm and composed. And never blame others or make excuses. Focus on your actions and what you did to resolve the issue.
Take responsibility.
Yes.
Question number 6. How do you stay up to date with industry trends and technology in mud logging? So we always got to be learning, right?
Absolutely. Mud logging is constantly evolving with new tech and techniques, so they want to see that you're on top of it.
Okay, so how do we show them that we're, always learning?
Be proactive. Talk about attending conferences, reading journals, joining industry organizations, participating in online forums and workshops,
So really be involved, huh?
Yeah.
What's a good follow-up they might ask here?
They might say something like, what are some emerging trends in mud logging technology that you're excited about? And how do you see them impacting the industry?
Oh, yeah.
That allows you to show that you're a forward thinker.
Okay, yeah, you're not just stuck in the past.
Right.
What are some common mistakes that we should avoid?
Don't be passive. I read magazines isn't enough.
Yeah.
Be specific about how you stay informed. And you don't know everything, right?
Yeah.
The industry's always changing. Acknowledge that. Be open to continuous learning.
Right. Be a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
All right, question number 7. How do you ensure safety while mud logging?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they want to know that we're,
That you're serious about safety.
serious about safety, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it can be a dangerous job, right?
Absolutely. Lots of potential hazards. So they want to hear about your proactive approach to safety.
So how do we show them that we are, safety first kind of people?
Be specific. Talk about wearing the proper PPE,
Okay.
Hard hats, gloves, safety glasses.
All that stuff.
Make sure you mention following established safety procedures and be proactive in identifying and mitigating hazards. You can even say something like, I always do a risk assessment
Okay.
before starting any task and make sure all safety equipment is working properly. I also encourage open communication within the team to report any concerns immediately.
That's a great answer.
Thanks.
What's a good follow-up question we might get?
Tell me about a time you spotted a potential safety hazard on a drilling site. What did you do?
Oh, so they really want to know.
Yeah.
What are some things we should avoid?
Don't be complacent, right?
Yeah.
Just saying, I follow the rules isn't enough. Give real examples of your safety practices. And never downplay the importance of safety.
Yeah, because it's so important.
It's everyone's responsibility. Speaking of responsibility, let's go to question number 8. How do you manage a team of mudloggers? So this is probably for the, if you want to be the boss.
Yeah. If you're aiming for leadership.
Leadership, yeah.
Exactly. This question is about your leadership style, how you motivate others, and your approach to teamwork.
So how do we let them know that we're a leader, not just
Not a boss.
Yeah, not just a boss.
Focus on collaboration and empowering your team. Share examples of how you delegate tasks effectively, give good feedback, and create a positive work environment. Something like, I believe in giving my team ownership of their work while providing guidance and support. I encourage communication and collaboration so we can achieve our goals.
Okay, so working together, huh?
Yeah.
Teamwork.
What's a follow-up question that could come up?
Describe a time you had to deal with conflict on your team. How did you handle it?
Oh, yeah.
That shows you can resolve conflict.
Keep the peace.
Yeah.
What are some leadership traps to avoid here?
Definitely don't come across as authoritarian or a micromanager. Right. Emphasize your ability to empower your team, right? Create that collaborative environment.
Yeah.
And avoid claiming to be perfect. Leaders make mistakes. Acknowledge that
Yeah.
it's an ongoing process.
You're always learning.
Yeah.
Okay, on to number 9. How do you analyze and interpret data from mud logging? So now they're really getting to the meat of it,
The heart of it.
the heart of it, yeah.
The brains of it.
Yeah, like what can you actually do with all this stuff you're collecting?
Right. They want to see that you can extract meaningful insights from that data.
So how do we show them we're not just, punching numbers, we're actually,
You're a data detective.
yeah, data detective, I like that.
Walk them through your analytical process. Mention specific techniques or software you use. Identify trends, spot anomalies, and draw conclusions. You could say, I use name of software to analyze the data. I correlate that with the rock data, and then prepare reports to communicate the findings to the team.
That's a great answer. What's a good follow-up they might ask?
They could say something like, give me an example of when your analysis led to a big change in the drilling plan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So where you really affected change.
Exactly.
What are some things we should definitely not do when we're answering this question?
Definitely be specific, right? Talk about the software you use, the analyses you perform, what you're looking for in the data.
Yeah.
And don't try to make it sound too simple. Data interpretation is complex,
Yeah, let's flex.
It is complex. Recognizing that shows that you get it.
Okay, yeah. You know what you're talking about?
Yeah.
We made it. The final question. How do you provide value to clients as a mud logger? So this is the big picture one.
Absolutely. The big picture. They want to know if you see beyond just completing tasks.
Right.
It's the value you bring to the whole operation.
Okay, so how do we show them we're more than just, a mud logger, but we're actually a partner?
Focus on outcomes and impact. Right. Explain how your analysis helps the clients make informed decisions, improve efficiency, minimize risks, and ultimately increase profits. You could say, by providing this data, I help identify hazards, optimize the drilling mud program, and target the best zones for hydrocarbons, which leads to a more successful and cost-effective operation.
Ooh, there's some jargon in there.
A little bit.
What's a good follow-up they might ask here?
They might ask, tell me about a time you went above and beyond for a client.
So a customer service question?
Yeah, show them you're dedicated to client satisfaction and you can build those relationships.
All right, what should we avoid saying?
Don't be vague, be specific, and don't get bogged down in the technical stuff, right?
Right.
Highlight the business impact and how you contribute to their success.
Okay, that's the 10th question. So
We did.
we did it. We did all 10 questions.
We did.
But we're not done yet.
Not done yet.
We still need to talk about the bigger picture of a mudlogger's career path
Yeah.
and how RoleCatcher can help you
With that AI.
with that AI.
Yeah.
So let's move beyond the interview
Right.
and talk about the whole journey of a mudlogger.
Sounds good. So RoleCatcher's career guide actually lays out the whole mudlogger journey.
Oh, cool.
From trainee to senior mudlogger.
Okay.
And each stage has different things you do and opportunities for growth.
All right, let's break it down.
Okay.
What does a mudlogger trainee actually do? Is that like fresh out to school, ready to get their hands dirty?
Yeah, they're basically apprentices,
Okay.
learning in the lab, assisting with analyzing the fluids, getting familiar with rock types.
So they're learning to read those clues.
Exactly.
Okay.
Pinpointing those hydrocarbons.
All right. So what about when they move up?
So then they become a junior mudlogger.
Okay.
More responsibilities.
Wow.
Doing more analyses, using more advanced techniques, figuring out how deep those hydrocarbons are.
Okay.
They even start prepping their own reports.
Oh, wow. So they're really contributing.
Yeah, more independent.
That's nice.
All right. So from there, they move up to just mudlogger.
Mudlogger.
No, junior or senior.
Okay.
Now they're conducting thorough analyses, monitoring gas levels, providing real-time data to optimize the drilling.
So they're really in the thick of it.
Yeah, working with geologists and engineers.
Okay. So what's the top? Like, what's the
Senior mudlogger.
senior mudlogger?
They're the leaders overseeing teams of mudloggers,
Wow.
ensuring data accuracy, giving expert interpretations, working directly with clients.
Oh, wow. So they're like,
They're the strategic thinkers
yeah.
guiding the whole operation.
So you can start in the lab and end up, running the whole thing.
That's a pretty cool career path.
Yeah. So RoleCatcher's guide gives you all that, right?
It's not just titles, it's specific examples of the tasks and responsibilities.
Okay.
Like, a senior mud logger might be responsible for making sure the data is good,
Okay.
developing those quality control procedures.
Right, which the trainee's not doing.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about those AI-powered tools from RoleCatcher, right? We talked about how they can help with prepping for the interview, but can they help with the application process too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
A lot of companies use AI to screen resumes.
Oh, wow.
So RoleCatcher's AI helps you tailor yours to the specific job description.
Yeah, you stand out.
Yeah, you hit those keywords.
Okay, and they also help with
Interview practice.
interview practice, yeah.
You can record yourself answering questions,
Oh, cool.
and the AI will analyze it
Oh, wow.
and give feedback on your delivery, content, word choices, everything.
So it's like a mock interview
Exact.
on your own time.
On your own time.
That's amazing.
And they can even analyze your whole candidate profile.
What?
Yeah, it looks at your skills and the job requirements, and then it suggests areas you can improve.
Oh, wow. So it's like a personalized career coach.
That's a great way to put it.
So RoleCatcher can really help you get that dream mudlogger job.
Every step of the way.
This deep dive has been awesome.
Yeah, it
We talked about all the hard interview questions, what the career's like.
how to use those AI tools.
The AI tools, yeah.
It's just a taste of what RoleCatcher offers.
So before we go, what are the main takeaways for our listener?
Prepare. The more you know, the better.
Okay.
Use all the resources out there,
Yeah.
especially from RoleCatcher, and believe in yourself. You got this.
Yeah. Okay, so one last question.
Okay.
What about the mudlogger role excites you?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
What sparked your interest?
Yeah.
Is it the discovery, the challenge, the industry itself? Maybe it's the money.
Or the travel?
Yeah, the travel. Whatever it is, let that fuel your journey.
That's great advice.
Thanks.
We hope this deep dive gave you the knowledge and confidence to, pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
Good luck with your job search, and we'll see you next time on the deep dive.